Welcome to the continued podcast adventures of Superhero Speak.
But I think many of the people that love this character and that love superheroes in general have used these stories as inspiration to say, you know what, I'm going to do something good in the world. I'm going to make a difference like my hero when I was a kid.
That is my fondest memory of it, because when you're doing comic books, you want them to affect people, right? You want people to care. You want to strike emotions, and I knew that Clone Saga was striking a lot of emotions.
Can you imagine Pulp Fiction starring Goofy and Mickey Mouse?
I can totally imagine that.
I'm sure somebody's written that one too.
Quarter pounder with cheese in France, Mickey? What? Boy, ale with cheese, Mickey. Yeah, I can totally.
See?
I would watch the hell out of that movie.
Yes, I gladly sacrifice up my progeny to you, almighty Marvel beast.
But Neil Adams is somewhere going, it's my time.
How do you measure success? Button.
Yeah, I know. And that's the first thing they hear me say is, yeah, I know. Okay. So, John O'Grady and
Dave Markowski
here at for Superhero Speak at the Great Philly Comic Con. And we are here with
Lynn Smith,
who worked on a book with Dirk Manning, a author down the way that we just interviewed a few minutes ago.
Yes, Dirk said he's just far enough away from you that he can throw shade.
Yeah. That's in my contract. I need to be as far as possible, but he has his contract where it has to be closer. So this is the distance between our contracts. So yeah,
these contracts have gotten much more complicated since last I heard.
Yeah, for sure.
just let us know when it gets to the point of an addendum with an estraining order.
Yeah, it's close, but not yet.
So you worked at, you've done a lot of other stuff. What we talked about with Dirk was his this new comic, which you did the artist for, you're the artist for, called Hope.
Yeah.
Which had me really intrigued because I bought it last night, went home, read it, came back in, and basically put Dirk up against the wall and said, when's the next one?
I'm asking him that too. He needs to get that script done.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. So he said that you went through a lot of people to find an artist for that. Now, what was it from your side? Because it was your idea for the cover, and how did you come up with the look and everything? Did you read the script first, or was it just he approached me at a show and was asking me if I was interested in this story, and he pitched it to me, and I was like, wow, that's an interesting take on the superhero genre, and I've never done the superhero genre, so it's like, yeah, that's a great way to go into it. And so he gave me the script, I read it, and I was like, dang, crushed emotions right in the first issue. I pitched him the idea for the cover, and because it's two sides of the story, and I don't know if I should reveal the cover to people. I mean, on the front is Hope, is her superhero, and on the back is Julie, who is the normal person behind Hope, the civilian. So it just reveals both sides of this character, and he loved it. So I feel that was a good fit. The cover is perfect because you're revealing both sides of who she is, her superhero side and her mommy side, basically.
Yeah.
And in the story, that's kind of the problem. She has to suddenly deal with the two of them, clashing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm super excited for the next couple issues. We've talked about it and plot pointed it out. And this poor girl, this poor woman, she goes through quite the ordeal.
He was hinting at that, and I alternately cannot wait, and I am dreading what is going to happen to her because the title of it is Hope, and it sounds like he's trying to kill Hope. And knowing Dirk's previous work, it's a safe bet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You can bet your bottom dollar that that's going to happen.
So one of the things that Dirk did point out too is he feels that this is the first book that he's done. It's a true collaboration with the artist.
Yeah.
And so I'm always curious with relationships with artist and writer, like how do you guys work that out? Like, do you work on the ideas together, then you draw them, or does he give you a full script and then you come back with some editing ideas? Like,
well, for the first issue was pretty much written, but as he was pitching me the idea of the overall arc for the first volume, he was in the middle of it, and I was like, "Oh, is this going to happen?" He goes, "No, but that's brilliant."
Okay.
So it shifted gears that way, just by pitching the idea to me. And then, yeah, I mean, as far as like dialogue goes, or if I suggest a panel this way, he's open to it. And before he even scripts the next issue, we sat down and we talked about what we needed, what direction we want to go. And for the most part, Dirk has the reins on the story, but there's definitely input from me, and I wholly respect that. It's great to collaborate with him, and he's willing to hear my suggestions. So
that's good to hear. Yeah. So your other book, Plume, is that written and drawn by you?
Yeah, it's all me.
Okay.
Yeah, it actually started as a webcomic, and I actually started it as a practice for just keeping myself drawing. I was pursuing an animation career. And so I was just like, well, storyboarding and comics, it's an easy shift somewhat. So I was like, oh, I'll just start a webcomic to keep myself drawing. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. And I absolutely love it. I'm no complaints at all from me. But
you say webcomic. Is this like, are you online?
Yes.
So like Dominic Deegan, Sluggy, all those guys?
Yep. So it's posted all online. And so the fact that my Kickstarters are super successful, that people are actually paying for something they can get for free online. Holy crap, that means the world to me. So, yeah.
What's the, for the listeners, what's the elevator pitch for Plume?
So, Plume is a Western with like a magical element. So, I always say Indiana Jones meets Hell on Wheels with a female lead. So,
okay.
Basically Lara Croft in the Old West.
Right.
The longer pitch is Vesper Grey is the main character. She's on this quest for revenge for the Wild West. Her companion, this white-haired guy named Korik, he possesses the amulet that she has, so that's the magic part. And so he's like a reluctant guardian angel to her as she's on this quest for revenge. So he's strung along for the ride.
How long have you been working on that story?
Started it in 2011, end of 2011.
Oh, wow.
And just finished it the end of last year. So it'll be 4 volumes altogether.
Finished?
Finished, yeah.
Or like if if your fans come back up and say, hey, what happens after that?
Yeah, there are like little spin-offs and little, short stories that I plan on doing, but for the overall arc, it's done. Yeah. And I had my ugly cry. It was all finished. I was like, my babies are all grown up.
Do you plan on doing something else after that? You've had a long time to think about it too.
Yeah. So I mean, Hope is the big guy that I'm concentrating on, but I have another webcomic I'm doing on my own coming up, for goodness sake. And it actually goes along with, in real life, I'm renovating a school bus, and I'm going to be traveling around the U.S. doing shows.
Right.
So the comic is going to land in all the cities. So the characters are on the bus. So the places will be nonfiction, and then the characters obviously are fictional.
Right.
So I like to include people that I meet along the way, and
okay.
So it's kind of like a little bit of an interactive comic, but it's a web comic. It'll be online as well.
Cool.
So since you write and do the art, which side of it do you have one side that you prefer?
I get this question a lot, and I don't know, because I feel like if I had to choose at the end of the day to draw or to write, I think I would draw, because you can tell a lot of the story in your art,
Right.
Yeah, I think drawing would be the top for me, but I love to tell a story. I mean, it's the big kid playing with the Barbies. Like, you can, your action figures, you can play make believe, and you're creating these stories and characters that you torture. So it's always fun. But
you've got the art down, because that last panel in Hope, the look on her face.
Yes.
Taking into account what happened, which I'm not going to spoil. The look of horror.
Yeah.
Is perfect.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. My horror is perfect. Thank you. Yeah, that means a lot. Yeah, expressions. I really take pride in expressions, and you tell so much in one panel that you gotta really work on it, you know.
Yeah, well, you get the expression down, and they say it's overused. Picture's worth 1,000 words.
Exactly, yeah.
And sometimes, if you're good, you do something like that, and yeah, it was worth it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Which makes it the wait for volume 2, which is that much harder, because you're wondering which way she's going to go. I'm not spoiling anything.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what other cons have you done? This is Great Philly Comic Con here, 2018. Have you done? There's the Wizard World one around here, but you said you were running a school bus, so do you go all the way around?
All the way around, yeah. I do all the way to Emerald City. I'm doing Rose City this year. All to Kansas City, Planet Comic Con, C2E2 in Chicago, Phoenix, FanFest. A couple Wizard World shows. I feel like I'm missing a big one.
Is that something that you find you have to do as a artist and author to keep drumming up more, sales?
Oh yeah, I mean, the Comic-Con circuit is hugely important, not just to get your word out to the fans, but to also bump elbows with other people in your field. Making connections and.
Right.
If a project comes up and someone's like, well, I'm not available, but so-and-so is, that's hugely important to make these connections, for sure.
That's how you met up with Dirk, right? It was through a convention.
Yeah. We're both published under Devil's Due, so we met through there as well. But, he's introduced me to so many people, too, through the con circuits as well. So it's very important.
So you've been doing this since 2011, and since we're talking about conventions, there's a lot of grumbling in the convention scene right now. Things have changed. A lot of the bigger conventions are more geared towards celebrities and the entertainment aspect of it. Do you find that to be true? And what do you suggest to other creators to help push their stuff at a con?
And don't worry, this interview will be emailed directly to the owners of this convention.
I was going to say. Some of the shows, and I don't want to... Wizard World... can you edit this out if this is a problem? Wizard World tends to aim for celebrities more now, and the artists seem to be more of a number. So I see that there are some problems there that, we just don't see the importance, in our presence there anymore.
Right. In their defense, I mean, they went through an ownership change a year and a half ago. I've heard rumbles that they are getting better, that they're learning quick.
Yes.
I mean, but we've been to other shows where, they really, the artist will get stuck in a corner with no through traffic. So I've seen...
And I mean, and then the bad stuff, people always talk about the bad stuff more than the good stuff. So, the Wizard World rumblings, I mean, they're on the up and up. So here's hoping. But C2E2 is a great show for artists. They really concentrate on, Artist Alley, and holy crap, it's the best show I had this year. So I recommend that for other artists. The smaller shows too, for sure, check those out. If you're starting out, definitely start with the smaller shows. The tables are cheaper, and local shows too, like traveling and hotels.
Those are usually the ones where the actual fans are coming out.
Exactly, yeah. People that in the area, too, coming out.
Or interested in the art, and they're not here to see, they don't spend $1,000 on a VIP pass to go see a celebrity. They have the money, and they can walk through and see your stuff.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what I always recommend, is to check out the smaller local shows first before you hit the big ones. And there's, Emerald City is great, too, as far as... honoring the artists rather than the celebrities.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of celebrities, but, we're not shoved in a corner. They actually, put us up on one floor, and then another floor is, the vendors and celebrities. So that's great that we're all, showcased on one area. So, yeah.
Here's a question for you. Now, aside from your stuff, is there something that you would recommend for people to read? Or an artist that you'd recommend? Who's your favorite?
Gosh. I can mention my friends. I mean, Dirk Manning's a great writer. You got to check him out.
Yeah. We interviewed his ego a few minutes ago. Him a few minutes ago.
Corinne Roberts. She's a great, fantastic artist. She's got very, a children's book mythical style. I don't know how else to describe it. It's very, very cool. gosh, now you put me on the spot. Now I'm like, if later on someone's going to listen to this, like, why didn't you mention me?
Well,
but like, webcomics too. I can like Tracy Butler, Lackadaisy Cats. Oh, I love that webcomic so much.
It's good.
Yeah,
I used to follow a lot of webcomics, and
Yeah.
it's been a while now because some of the ones that I followed, like Sluggy, User Friendly, and I even think I think Dominic Deegan's still going. I'm not sure, but yeah.
I haven't checked in a while, actually.
Yeah. Is that how you got started with this? You did on the webcam? Because that's a scene that I think a lot of people really aren't aware of, that when the newspapers started to go away and they started concentrating only on, like, Peanuts and that sort of thing, just anything that was big seller, a lot of the other artists that were doing their own webcomics, they started moving online en masse. And there's this huge community of webcomics out there.
Yeah. I always compare it to TV versus movie. Like, it used to be back in the day where you're like, oh, you're a television star? Get on the big screen. Right. But now TV is like up in its game. We've got like these awesome series like Westworld and it's TV. So I feel like webcomics versus the printed comics is kind of the same world, where these webcomics, they're raising up in quality, and like Lackadaisy Cats, like that is quality stuff, and it's free online. So I feel like, that the scene's getting a lot larger, and the audience response is immediate. It's online. You can, it's an interaction between your fans, and people love that. And so you just grow this community, like the Plume community. I absolutely adore. I don't have any like bad people in the bunch, knock on wood.
You're obviously not on Instagram yet, right?
But it's an awesome community to be in. People are
it goes back to that whole mentality that the internet just removed the barrier of entry into the world. So, and when the people that control the barrier see that, they start to put it down because, this isn't as good as the stuff we're doing over here. Even though, like, newspapers is such a dying medium, those artists need work, so they'll go do it online.
Yeah, I have actually Daniel Leister. He's a big horror artist, and great like work under his belt, and he's shifting over to webcomics. Like, he's actually posting a webcomic, so it's you see a lot of people shifting in that area because. Yeah, it's like with Kickstarter, too. I mean, you've got an online audience. Holy crap, their campaign is going to blow up because you've got the people online. So
Or Patreon, too.
Patreon, too, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's a great time to start a comic.
So speaking of things that are online, where can people find you online?
All right, so plumecomic.com is where you can find the comic. For myself, Kaylin Smith tweets. Kaylin tweets, on Twitter. Plume Comic across the board for the social media. And then Instagram is Handmade Crown. Don't ask me. That was literally like a name generator. I was like, okay, Kaylin Smith's taken. All right, we'll just do Handmade Crown. All one word, so.
Cool. Is that your password too?
You're right, yeah. Handmade Crown, and then don't look. Handmade Crown. Enter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and
right.
We look forward to the next Hope. At least I do, and you should too. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
Can you direct me to any